It's a problem that's plaguing communities all over our region. Retail stores going out of business and stores leaving malls. Today, the Economic Development Association in East Grand Forks discussed the problem.
Going on to the next item, everybody knows by now, I'm sure, that one, Dollar General has left, and two, that Shopko has left. In Shopko's case, they're using their bankruptcy to try to change the terms of the agreements that they have, and it makes a situation where it was a take it or leave it, and it would have put the homeowner, the building owner, into a negative situation in terms of that building. So he countered, and Shopko countered by putting it onto their to be closed list rather than even going any further in discussions. It's similar on Dollar General, where they just, even though they were making money, they decided not to continue the relationship in here. I have been talking with both property owners about how we can fill the spaces, possible tenants to fill the space, and ways to fill the space that work well for this community. That will take some time to get done. Okay. The one building is about 8,000 square feet. The other building is about 40,000 square feet. I think you can figure out which is which. Okay.
Yeah.
The mall, Columbia Mall, MDNO.
Retail's tough.
Well, it's a change. The retail environment is changing dramatically, and it has affected some retailers who've had to, not once but twice or three times, going through bankruptcy. Look at what's going on with Payless right now, where Payless is closing every store in this country.
Yeah.
Toys R Us is closed. Look at the difficulties that Sears is having. Look at the difficulties and the closures for Macy's and places like that. It's not an easy environment right now, and it will take some years before that's all shakes out to see what we ultimately see. But for ours, we basically have two stores that we're going to be trying to refill, re-tenant, and I'm working with the owners to get that done.
I know I was approached about this weekend, actually, and they were saying, you know, East Side has to do something, because right now we have Hugo's. We have no other stores, you know, that talked about possibly, you know, approaching like a Walgreens or a CVS or something on that line.
Yeah.
You know, to see what we could do. What's that?
Shopko's pharmacy is already closed. Shopko is supposed to be closing, I think.
But they have pharmacies, but they have like Walgreens, and CVS has other retail type stuff that goes along with it. But it just came up because it was, you know.
Yeah, when I hear East Grand Forks has to do something, the question is what? There are limits as to what we can do. You know, the extreme case is we brought Cabela's here. Yeah, we don't have $7 million laying around to attract someone like that, and that was a unique situation after a natural disaster. So when people ask or tell us we need to do something, that's Well, what we need to do is market ourselves, and I think that's something we're working on. We also need to just have an open door policy. The sign on our door should say "Open for Business," and that's about all we can do. You know.
Well, I like I said, I'm working with the building owners, and there are, in particular, there's the International Council of Shopping Centers. I have been a member for a long time, and most of them are also members, so I'm working with them so we can participate in some of their events where we get together with the people who have spaces, with the businesses that are trying to expand and fill new spaces. So there are events. There's one in Chicago that's going on roughly now or toward the end of this month. There's one down in Kansas City that comes up shortly. The major show is out in Las Vegas in May. And if it comes down to it, what I may end up having to do, if it comes down to, is I may have to go out and meet them with some of the retailers, either at some place like that or at the retailers' own locations, and discuss what can be done with them at that point, where we have a supportive role and try to facilitate things that can happen. We're not the ones who are going to be signing the lease on the bottom line. It's a retailer, and it's going to be a private transaction between the retailer and the business owner.
Do we have enterprise zone credits that'd be available for either of those locations?
They'll be leasehold, and because they're leasehold, it's harder to apply. It has to apply to the owner of the building as opposed, but some type of tax relief would be one way to go about it. That's something that will take discussion here and ultimately take discussion with the city council, because the city council has to approve any form of tax relief. We have, in particular, the IRP funds can be available for things such as renovation of a building, for a tenant, that's for the tenant improvements, so that type of thing can be done in a way that has fewer restrictions on the use of the money than some of the other funds that we have, so that we can use those funds to help a business renovate a space so it can go into business. And we can set up the terms so that they're not onerous to the business. Our money right now is at 4% for that type of loan. SBA money right now is at 4.6%. So SBA money, Small Business Administration money, is not really expensive either. So those are things that we're looking at. Ron had mentioned a couple of tenants. Those are not the only tenants that have been mentioned in when I've talked with the building owners.
Out of curiosity, how many jobs did we lose?
I don't know that. I can't answer that. I don't know. I've been working on the space less than the jobs. The thing is, with our unemployment rate around here, in general, we're looking for people to fill jobs.
Right.
So there are some opportunities. You even hire a lot of people at American Crystal, so some of the people may have gone to your place, but I can't answer that question. I don't know the answer. I can find out if you'd really like to know.
Be nice to know.
I think they're going to be open till May is what they've said there.
I think May 1st is the Shopko.
Right.
I know there's some employees that have been there over 26 years, I know.
That's why I was wondering.
26 years, so.
Yeah.
But I spoke to one just the other day, and they didn't have any idea what they were doing yet. But.
Yeah, they may be open, but they may not have a lot left on their shelves by the time they close. So, but, okay.